Savannah Guthrie's mother reported missing in Arizona. Grave concern. Authorities stated on Sunday that Savannah Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show anchor, had been reported missing in Arizona under concerning circumstances. At approximately 9:30 p.m., Nancy Guthrie, 84, was last seen at her residence in Catalina Foothills, north of Tucson. Saturday, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Office, the elder Guthrie was characterized as a vulnerable adult and not of good physical health. Around a press conference, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano stated that a relative reported her missing by calling 911 around noon on Saturday. The missing octogenarian was eventually identified as the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of NBC's Today Show since 2012. ABC 15 Arizona said. Officials classified the situation as a search and rescue mission. According to authorities, the old woman's home was being searched by homicide detectives, which was not usual procedure for a missing person case. Regarding the sizable team put together to look for Nancy Guthrie, Nanos remarked, "We've pretty much thrown everything at this as we can." Nanos remarked, "I don't need to tell you, but this is very concerning to us. We don't usually get the sheriff out on a scene like this." There was grave concern for her welfare, according to the sheriff. Although Guthrie was of good sound mind and was not known to have conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's, officials were worried about her being left alone, according to the sheriff. She has some physical ailments that limit her ability to move around, Nano said. Regarding her mother's absence, Savannah Guthrie has not made any public remarks. The disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is not only a deeply personal crisis for one family, but also a stark reminder of how fragile safety can be for elderly individuals, even those who are mentally sharp and living in familiar surroundings. What makes this case especially troubling is that it defies the common assumptions often attached to senior missing person cases. There is no indication of cognitive decline, no known pattern of wandering, and no immediate explanation for why an 84-year-old woman with limited mobility would vanish from her home late at night. Law enforcement's response, described in unusually urgent terms, reflects a recognition that this case carries risks that escalate rapidly with time. When authorities speak openly of grave concern, it signals that the window for a safe resolution may be narrowing. This is not language used to manage public perception. It is language rooted in experience, shaped by countless past cases where delays or overlooked details had irreversible consequences. The involvement of homicide detectives, even in the absence of confirmed foul play, underscores a critical reality. In high-risk disappearances, investigators cannot afford to assume innocence of circumstance. Every possibility must be examined early, before evidence fades and memories blur. This approach is not alarmist. It is preventive. It reflects an understanding that the cost of underreacting is far greater than the cost of acting aggressively from the outset, beyond the investigation itself. This case has prompted a broader public reckoning with how society protects its most vulnerable members. Aging does not always arrive with visible warning signs. Someone can be mentally alert, socially engaged, and still be one misstep away from a life-threatening emergency. A fall, sudden illness, or moment of disorientation can quickly become fatal without timely intervention, particularly in environments where the rain and temperature pose additional hazards. The public attention surrounding this case also highlights the delicate balance between awareness and speculation. Media coverage can help mobilize communities and generate leads, but it can also distort reality if driven by assumptions rather than verified facts. So far, authorities have maintained a disciplined focus on evidence and safety, resisting the urge to assign blame or offer premature conclusions. That restraint is essential, especially when emotions run high and outcomes remain uncertain. For families across the country, this disappearance serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of vigilance, communication, and preparedness when caring for elderly loved ones. It raises difficult but necessary questions about nighttime safety, medical monitoring, and how quickly help can be summoned when something goes wrong. These are not abstract concerns. They are practical realities that many families face quietly until a crisis forces them into the open. Ultimately, the hope remains that Nancy Guthrie will be found safe. Search and rescue efforts are built on that hope, fueled by urgency and guided by experience. But regardless of the outcome, this case leaves behind an unmistakable lesson. Age and vulnerability transform ordinary moments into high-stakes situations, and when someone disappears under concerning circumstances, time becomes the most unforgiving adversary. In that sense, this story is not just about one missing person. It is about how quickly certainty can give way to fear, how critical early action truly is, and how the safety of vulnerable adults depends not only on institutions and authorities, but on collective awareness and care.